Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Now we enter into the second verse of Sadhana Panchakam. Repeat after me. Sangha Satsu Vidhiyatam Bhagavato Bhaktirdrudha शान्त्यादि परिचीयतां दृढतरम् कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यताम् सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनम् तत्पादुका सेव्यताम् ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्ध्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम्. Together, Sangha Satsu Vidhiyatam Bhagavato Bhaktirdrudha Shantyavadi Parichiyatam Karmashu Santyajyatam Sadvidvanupasrupyatam Pratidinam Tatpaduka Sevyatam ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्त्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् संगसत्सु विधीयताम् seek, search for which company? Sangha means company. Of whom? Satsu, of wise people, men of wisdom. Who are men of wisdom? Whoever you find around you. For a child, the father is a man of wisdom. Mom also a woman of wisdom, the only man of wisdom. Then what else? If daddy mummy hai, chhodiya, daddy mummy se kaun seekhega? Then who is my person of wisdom? Any person educated within in your friend circle, in the society, go and search. There are many educated people who are experts in their field. You can go, you can find people are going to them, taking their guidance, telling them their finding solutions, or at least going to them and getting some response. Otherwise, you have questions and you don't know where to go, and it keeps eating you from inside. Not like that. And the best way is go to the masters, saints, sages, and we must make this effort. Fortunately, in the nowadays, compared to old times, in the olden times, the saints and sages never used to cross the ocean. They used to never cross the boundaries of the land. They will go by land, but they will never cross the ocean. But nowadays, Swamis, Mahatmas, they are all flying left, right, center, everywhere. They are going to everyone. You don't even have to go to them. They are coming to you. So take advantage, because this time is never going to come again. This is only going to happen in Kali Yuga. In Satyuga, people went to Mahatmas. In Dwapar, Treta Yuga, Ramchandra ji went to the Gurukul. In the Dwapar Yuga, Duryodhan, Yudhishthir, all the Pandavas and Kauravas, even Krishna, they went to the Gurukul. In Kali Yuga, the Gurukul comes to you. That's the advantage. So take, and even then we have complaints that we don't have time, we are too busy, we have got prior commitments, I'm not feeling well. But all these excuses are not there. If something you desire and that has to be done, what is that? Shopping? सब कुछ ठीक हो जाता है. Huh? My mom, she's 82 and both knees replaced. So we keep telling her, keep walking, keep walking. She says, I don't drink Johnny Walker. Keep walking, keep walking. But she will not go for a walk outside. So what is the way to make her walk? Take her for vegetable shopping or take her for shopping. चलो कॉफी पीने चलते हैं. कहाँ shopping से? 3 hours goes and she never asks to sit down. I get tired. 3-4 hours तो it's just उल्टे हाथ का खेल है. And then after she'll come, then she's good for nothing after coming home. But at least she has done that exercise. You see? So here we must make the effort to go to be in the presence. If not anything else, be in the presence. People, masters are coming, sannyasis are coming, saints and sages are coming to different houses. Satsangs are going on, not by any Tom, Dick and Harry. There are many self-proclaimed gurus also, but those who are committed to the truth, those who are committed to the path, those who are living that life, we must expose ourselves to them. Those who have got nothing to ask in return. One poor lady is there in Melbourne, and she asked me, Swamiji, today is my first puja. She learns Vedic chanting from me, and she attends satsangs also on Zoom. She says, I'm going to do puja, first puja. She learned puja from some other person. And I said, okay, good, very good, all the best. No, some guidance. I said, what guidance? You're doing the puja, I'm not a pujari. No, tell me something. I said, okay, you ask, then be ready to not suffer, not suffer, but to implement it in your life. Then what was the statement that at that moment, I don't know, it came out. I said, if you are doing puja, do puja as a sadhana. Think this way that the Lord has given you the opportunity to go to different houses to do different puja, Satyanarayan puja, Havan, Ganpati puja, etc., etc. And every puja is an opportunity for you to be in communion with God. Forget about, yes, on the side, they are the yajman and they will do. Don't ask for any dakshina. Whatever they give, accept it wholeheartedly. And she did that. Now it's been 7-8 years. You see her unfoldment. See her unfoldment. The understanding of scriptures is natural. She is, at this time she came to Kailash with me. Before she had never thought. Maybe thought was there, but energy was not there. She did Charan Sparsh also and Parikrama also. See? So all this comes from where? It doesn't come from our efforts. It comes from quietening our desires. Because tomorrow, the person whom she learned from, the puja, he also called me one day. He said, Swamiji, I travel here, I travel there, I went there, I go interstate, and I conduct marriages, and they give me $50. I said, are you, but you only told me that you're doing it as a seva to the society. Then what right you have to demand? But Swamiji, my air ticket itself costs me $150 to $200. Then I have to take a taxi to go to the place. My cost is not getting covered. Now, what will you tell that person? I said, start charging. He started charging $500. And his Shishya, whatever comes. Big difference. Because she never complained that I'm traveling and I'm not getting the return for what I'm spending. That's where the growth is. That's where the growth is. Otherwise, there's no end of desire. So here, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya ji is saying that to get out of desire, to get the right orientation in life, to get the right direction in life, to remove the unwanted thoughts, your wrong conclusions about life, you must come in company of wise people. There alone, your transformation will happen. How does the transformation happen? Just like you must have all done this experiment in school, at least in our school, it was there. Nowadays, they might not be doing it. Yeah. A mother magnet is there, and you put all the oil pins all around. And what used to happen? All the oil pins are just thrown here. The moment magnet is brought in between, close to it, at a particular distance, all the oil pins will be facing the magnet. All become unidirectional. Before they will haphazard, but they became unidirectional. And if you leave them for some time, then each oil pin has a magnetic quality. Did it touch the magnet? No. Did it embrace the magnet? No. It was only at a distance. Yet the quality of the magnet, which is to attract, got transferred into that iron filing or that oil pin. Exactly the same thing happens to us. When we are in the presence of great masters, knowingly, unknowingly, by his divine will, because they are completely merged in the infinite, in their presence, we get transformed without knowing ourselves. We become a magnet. We something, all our haphazard thoughts, they become unidirectional. And what is that unidirection? Towards the divine, towards the self, towards the Atma. This is what happens. And wherever the mind becomes unidirection, comes towards a higher goal, there the growth of a person begins. There the growth of a person begins. So here he says, Sangha Satsu Vidhiyatam Bhagavato Bhaktirdradhadhiyata. And it is in their company that we see what true love, what true devotion towards the divine is. It is by their words, it is by their disposition, it is by their smile, it is the love in their eyes for everything and everyone. And that is not coming because I love everyone. No, it is because he is in love with the divine. Therefore, that divine is expressing as love towards all, because that divine is everything. See? And this is what is told here. Bhaktir Dridadiyatam. And as we expose ourselves more and more to the saints and sages, our bhakti, unknowingly, starts becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, just like Mirabai's, just like Tukaram, Namdev, Gora Kumbar. This is, all of these were great masters living at the same time. What is the greatness of bhakti? I don't know if this is the topic here. We can tell one story. Once upon a time, Gora Kumar, you know Gora Kumar, you heard of him. And this is a very popular one, but for kids. And he was a Kumhar, means a potter. And in the old times, even nowadays also, they do the same. With they have a small pit where the mud is there and water is poured, and the potter, he keeps jumping on it and makes the soil soft and malleable, which can be then taken onto the wheel and then molded into a pot or whatever is to be made. And one day, the wife of this Gora Kumbar, she said, "Oh, I have to go and buy some milk or vegetables for the evening." And they had a baby, and the baby was lying on the cot sleeping. Couldn't even walk, only on the force it could move. And he was lying there. And he says, yeah, yeah. And he was in the mud chanting, Jai Jai Rama Krishna Hari, 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 Vittala, 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 continuously going on. And she went away. He said, yes, 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 everything fine. She went away. The child woke up. The, the charpai was low. He climbed down and looking nobody there, started crying. Mummy is not there. In that state, he saw the dad jumping around for no reason. He started moving towards the father. And when he moved towards the father, Gora Kumbhar, he was so lost and intoxicated in the name of the Lord that he didn't even feel or see the child coming into the pit, coming under his feet and getting killed under his feet. And when the wife came back, she says, where's the son? He says, he's just chanting Vittala, Vittala. He didn't even know. Then she shook him. Where's the son? Son? Whose son? Which son? And then she looked down. All the blood was under his feet. Child was dead, dismembered. And she started blaming, what sort of a husband have I got? We are talking about devotion, huh? Don't forget, otherwise you will get lost in the story. This should not happen, that should not have happened, how heartless this fellow is, how can he be a saint? No, don't go in that direction. We are talking about topic is devotion. And he started when she blamed him for everything, you're good for nothing, I should not have got married to you. And one responsibility, first time I ever gave you responsibility, that also you could not carry out properly. And he was stunned. It was not right what has happened. He says, if Vittala made me forget that my son was coming under my feet because I was not identified with the body. Remember, I was disidentified with the body while chanting the name of the Lord. The child came, I was not even aware. So I have not killed. He has killed. He has brought about this situation. He will fix it. And he started singing again. The wife got crazy. What type of husband I got? For before also he was singing. Now when I tell the problem, again he's singing. And the child comes back to life. This is the power of devotion. Namdev Maharaj was there. Namdev Maharaj was an elderly person. And he was a tailor by profession, but great devotee. And Bhagwan used to come and do his jobs. So if his wife orders, I want the house to be clean. Vittala, 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 the house is clean. If the clothes are not stitched in time because he's too lost in the taking name of the Lord and the people's orders are there, pajama kurta bana raha hai, Vittala, 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 pajama kurta ready hai. Initially it started that way. I'm just making a light of it. But then people started noticing that he's something extraordinary. And they started bringing their problems. He says, I don't know. I will just present your problem to the Lord. And if he wants to solve it, and I'm sure he will solve it. He has never said no to me. And he used to solve the problems. Blind will get the eyes, disease will go away, etc. So many, many miracles happen. So he started thinking, I am the greatest devotee of the Lord. Greatest devotee of the Lord. It was an arrogant conclusion that I am a greater devotee than anyone else. There's no one greater than me who loves Lord Vittala. And at that time, we have Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Nivrittinath, Sopan Dev, Mukta Bai, Kanho Patra, Gora Kumbhar, and so many others. And they have a get together and they said, Azoba, Azoba, Grandpa, you also come with us to Alandi. And against his wishes, he says, I don't want to leave Pandharpur. But he goes to Alandi along with these kids And when he goes to Alandi, they are children. So Muktabai says, Muktabai is only 8 years old, like that small kid. She says, let's play a game. Let's play a game. What is the game? We'll see who is pakka ghada, who is kacha ghada. Who is a cooked pot and who is an uncooked pot. So they said, yes, that is a good game for all our children. So who will test? Small child cannot say who is pakka and kacha. So they asked Gora Kumar. He says he's a potter, he knows it is cooked or it's uncooked. So they gave him a stick. He goes on every head. Tongue, cook pot, tongue, cook pot, tongue, cook pot. Everyone is cook pot because all saints were there. Came to Namdev Maharaj. He was already, I am so far away from Vittala. These young kids are playing stupid games. Nobody is there of my age. And he was sulking under a tree in the corner. Gora Kumbhar ke, kya ho gaya? What do you want? No, we are playing the game. Tang, kacha ghada. It is uncooked pot. The moment he heard it is uncooked pot, he became very angry that all of you are cooked pot and I am uncooked. I am uncooked. I am the greatest devotee of the Lord. And ran from there. I will not stop. I will not eat. I will not drink till I ask this question to Vitthal Maharaj. And he came to Pandharpur non-stop. So that he doesn't make a mistake somewhere along the way, they all sent Visoba Maharaj behind him to check if he doesn't make some mistake. Kahin gir gaya, khai mein gir gaya, mar gaya, accident ho gaya, take care of him. So he is walking some distance away and Namdev Maharaj is not looking back. And he goes there and he asks, stands in front of Vittala in Pandharpur. Vittala, all these fellows say this, but where am I going wrong? He's not saying it loudly in his mind. And Vittala statue is there, Pandharpur, beautiful. Every time he comes and gives them the answer, but this time he's not coming and giving the answer. And but he knows that whatever the declaration came, that he is an uncooked pot and others were cooked pot, first it hurt him, but now he realizes that it is correct. I am short of it. Something is amiss. Something is amiss. And after making the prayer to the Vitthal Bhagwan, he turns around and Visoba Maharaj is standing there. And Visoba Maharaj himself is a great person. He says, your question will be answered if you go to this village, to this butcher. He's a professional tailor. Now he thinks he is a great devotee. So he is being sent to a butcher. That I am sattvic. These fellows are unsattvic. They are tamasic. Sometimes people are like that. I am pure. But they are not impure. So he went. And the moment he reached to the butcher says, before the moment he says, Acha, Visoba Maharaj has said you. This is the question that is troubling you. But I am not. I am only a messenger. I don't have the answer to your question. I can answer, but I will not, because someone else is waiting to answer that question. That Shivalinga on the top of that hill. You go there. He goes there to the Shivalinga. And he goes there, and what does he find? It's a dilapidated temple with a Shivling, and one huge person, 7 feet tall, with a huge belly, is lying there on the ground with his feet on the Shivalinga. And the moment he enters and sees this, blasphemy! How can the person keep his feet on the Shivalinga? How dare! And he screams at him. It's said it was Trailanga Swami, and he lived for more than 350 years. So he said, take off your feet from the Shivlinga. He says, see, I am an old man, I am no energy. If you are so worried of my feet on the Shivalinga, but Shivalinga only comes under my feet, what can I do? How can Shivalinga come under your feet? It's staying in its place. You have put your foot on that. He says, if you are so concerned and you take my feet and move them away, I'll be very grateful to you. Very gently, he says. So, what was the name? Namdev Maharaj. He says, Acha, so He doesn't think. He takes the feet and moves it away. The Shivalinga moves and comes under his feet again. Huh? Then again he moves here. So many times he moves, but the Shivalinga keeps coming. He wants the feet of the great master. Suddenly, in that incident, the cracked pot became cooked pot. That Jada sadhana has to be given up and conscious sadhana has to be done. Till now, he was looking at a statue and he was a devotee. Now he sees that there is something greater than a Jada Murti, a photograph, and what was that? The consciousness is more important. And the transformation of Navdev takes place. This is Satsanga, this is Sangati, this is the greatness of the great master. Without a word spoken, inside I saw this picture of Raman Maharishi. People used to be in his presence, in his silence, people used to get the answers, isn't it? You read the books. So, Sangha Satsu Vidhiyatam Bhagavato Bhaktir Dridhadhiyatam. And what does it mean? Bhaktir Dridhadhiyatam. How do you make the bhakti paripakwa? How do you mature devotion in your heart? Just by thinking, I love God, does it become dridha? Well, there is a process. Here it is told, when you come in the presence of the masters, it will get initiated, but then you have to work on it. Mom can cook the food, you have to eat it. So great masters can initiate the process, but you have to practice it in life. And what is that practice? Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. So you start chanting loudly, then mentally it will automatically, once loud chanting becomes matured, it will go into your mind. Then mind starts chanting, then it will go into silence. And then you go beyond that. Where do you go? You go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So, or whichever. I'm not going to go into too much detail of that part. But Bhaktir Dridhadiyadam, your love, just like you, some of you will be arranged marriage, some of you will be love marriage. So if it is arranged marriage, did you love the person the first time you look? Hey, kaisa hai ye? Ke baal hi nahi hai. My parents only selected this fellow, at least thoda some hair he should have had. Huh? He's not even handsome. His countenance is good. I feel good in his presence, but he's not handsome. He doesn't go to gym. He's got no muscles. लल्लू लल्लू कपड़े पहन के घूमता रहता है. This is my husband. But as she has no other choice, or the other way also, as both of them have got no choice, they both are new to each other. But slowly they spend time with each other, and slowly it turns into unconditional love for each other. Same way Bhakti Dridha. Even if you don't love the Lord, you start taking the name. Slowly, slowly, the love for the Lord wells up in your heart. And then the urgency that I want to be one with the Lord, this also happens. Try. I can only suggest, but you have to give it a go. And what will happen when bhakti becomes firm in your heart, that you to perform everything remembering the divine, then Shantyadi Parichiyatam Dridhataram. Shantyadi Parichiyatam. And then Shanti, the peace, etc., that gets cultivated within your heart. What is Ashanti? Giving yourself too many options in life leads to Ashanti, leads to disturbance of the mind, leads to restlessness of the mind. Understand? So, what are options about? About things in the world. If in the childhood you think, whatever the broken cycle was there without pedal, we draw that. Nowadays, we want the car with the beep, beep, beep. If it goes on the line, there's all that. There's no end to it. Whatever, if the charpai was there, we slept on the charpai. Today we want, should we have this type of mattress or that type of mattress or this type of bed, or we should have it at this height or lower height, or so many options. The more the options, the more disturbed your mind will be. No options, you are the happiest. Less options, less, a little bit more happy, but not completely happy, but less troubled. And in this way, Shantyadi. Shantyadi means your mind is comfortable, calm, cool, collected under all circumstances. Why it is calm, cool, collected under all circumstances? Because bhaktir dridhadhiyatam. Because in your heart, continuously, the remembrance of the Lord is throbbing away. And when you are thinking of the Lord, nothing else matters. Say, this is the beauty of our mind. Mind does not know what is the difference between real and imaginary. It does not know the difference. Whatever you feed, it will start believing. Understand? I cannot live without Prakash. Story. Story over. कार्तिकी के प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो गई. Huh? Whatever. If today I say that, nahi yaar, life is, that someone asked me in Dubai, Swamiji, how do we quieten my mind, our mind? That's very simple. Very simple. Every one of you has what? Liquid spirituality. Quieten your mind. Every person who drinks, he takes it only to quieten. Swamiji, there is nothing strong enough, Okay, then take drugs. Take drugs. That will quieten your mind. Then suddenly the topic, they forgot that they were talking about devotion and quieting the mind. Swamiji, आपने try किया है? फिर बोलते हैं, कोई बोलता है, मैंने ट्राई किया है. आपने क्या ट्राई किया है? टॉपिक फर्क है, भूल गए. So, so that is another way. Our Naga Babas and Aghoris, they take the drugs. The Tantrics, they take the alcohol. They quieten their mind with that. Our name of the game is, wherever life has placed us, our mind must be Shantyadi Parichiyatam. Wherever. Most unconducive circumstances, we do not get depressed. Most conducive circumstances, we don't get excited. Remain shant. Remain in poise. Remain in poise. And that poise will not come by you thinking I am in poise. It will come by the grace of the divine. For that, bhaktir dridhadhiyatam. And how will bhakti increase? Sangha satsu. Remain in the company of saints and sages. In this way, Dhrudataram karmashu santyajyata. Then he says that, and get, oh yeah, and from then thereafter, once our mind has become quiet as a result of the first line, Sangasatsu and Bhaktir Dridha, mind has become quiet, then karmashu santyajyatam. Do not, I already mentioned this, do not perform desire prompted activities. Do not perform desire prompted actions. There is two things which I will mention here. If it clicks, it clicks. Think about it. Action is happening, activity is happening anyway, isn't it? Body is moving. Do you call it yoga? Then what is yoga? And what is movement of body? Breath is moving in and out. It is happening normally, isn't it? Then when does it become pranayama? No, you don't need body to be working together. Intentionally. Say that again. Intentionally done. a nicer word. With ego, you do it. With ownership, it is my body. I have to do the movement of the body. It's called yoga. It is my breath. I have to control the breath. I have to regulate the breath. I have to stop the breath. I have to breathe in or breathe out. When I take control, who is taking control? Ego. It is called pranayam. So it is natural or abnormal? Then why you practice? I'm just breaking your barriers. Huh? So why do you practice it? If it is सुभाष जी को गले के नीचे उतरा नहीं, विष्णु जी है नहीं है, नहीं नहीं जरूरी है, फिर स्क्रिप्चर्स में क्या लिखा है, कहीं इसीलिए लिखा है कि आप करो मत. नहीं नहीं ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? But jokingly. So understand, you still practice it, but understand it must lead to giving up of ownership of breathing in a particular way. It should give up, you should give up the ownership of moving the body in a particular way. Similarly, dharana, dhyan, samadhi is directing your mind in a particular way so that we can go beyond the mind, isn't it? So that is also out of intention only. Till we don't realize there is a higher way of functioning in life, till then you practice this, but only to dissolve the ego, not to enhance the ego. I chant 1 crore times Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Kya tir maar liya? If you have done it, many people come to us, 20, 30, 40 years, they have chanted the name. Swami, but my mind is still not quiet. Kya bolenge unko? Why it has not become quiet? Because you didn't do it with the right disposition. You didn't do it with bhava. You didn't do it with the disposition that this will lead to dissolution of my mind. Okay? So activity is happening at your body, breath, mind, intellect level. Activity is happening. When you take ownership, it is called karma. When you take ownership, it is called karma. When you don't, and karma always leads to results. And that result, when you take ownership, if it leads to result, it leaves an impression in the mind called vasana or memory. And it goes into your subconscious. And these memories become the reason for your future births. Now, what is the smart way of functioning? Smart way of functioning is I just showed you all activities taking place. Don't need to take ownership of it. Then what will happen? Activity will remain activity without becoming an action. Because there's no owner. Activity also gives you a result, but it is not binding. Karma is binding. The result from the activity is karma phala is binding, kriya phala is non-binding. You're free. It happens. Does the breath come in and out? Does it trouble you in any? But if you do controlled breathing and it goes the wrong way, then what happens? Problem, no? Lung problem or breathing problem, or suddenly the headache comes. There is a result because you took ownership of it. But when it is naturally happening, it is not binding. It will. So understand this. So here it is saying, karmashu santyajyadam, that do not perform activities prompted by desires. This requires a little bit of commitment. It does not happen just like that. Until unless we are not going continuously seeking the company of the saints and sages, developing our devotion, making it firm, remaining calm in all situations, till then this fourth point will not happen. Then it comes, sadvidvan upasrupyatam pratidinam. Then, tat paduka sevyatam tadvina. Take shelter, upasrupyatam. Take shelter at the feet of of the perfect masters. Tat paduka sevyatam. How do you purify yourself? How do you, if you want to serve, See, one person, when I was just come out of the ashram, and someone said, "Oh, naya naya brahmachari aaya, pakad lo isko. Swami ji, puja karte ho?" We had learned how to do puja. So, Swami ji, please do puja. I said, what puja? Oh, what puja is done when someone dies? I don't know. I am not a pujari. No, no, you do Ganesh puja. I said, okay, Ganesh puja. तो श्राद्ध करना चाहिए. मैंने कहा, you call some pandit ji who knows how to do shraddh. No, no, I don't believe in shraddh. So then what do you believe in? No, we are contemporary thinkers. We want all that is superstition. Then what do you do? What do you want me to do? You want Ganesh Puja? Is that not superstition? Have you seen Ganesha? No. Then what will you do afterwards? No, we will not give dakshina and clothes to Brahmin. Then what will we will give money to the orphans? We'll give money to the poor people. And I said, okay, you can do that. More than welcome to do that. It's your money. But what ashirwad will you get from them? Who is not able to take care of himself, what ashirwad that person will give? May you come and give me food again and again. May you come and give me money again and again. Isn't it? But you go to a Brahmin who is living for integrated Brahmin. There are many imposters also. But a true good Brahmin, even whether it is a grahastha or brahmachari, does not matter. But he will only bless you. He'll say, may your ancestors remain in peace. May their blessings always be there. Will that orphan ever bless you with that? ऐसे ये प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंस आने से, ज्यादा एजुकेशन. So we must see. And how do you correct this? You go to the great masters, and here it says, Tat Paduka Sevyatam. People take it wrongly. They take Swamiji, Swamiji, our Swamiji. Swamiji, your Padukas look nice. Well, if someone says, Swamiji, your Paduka look nice, Swamiji will say, Yaar le. And what do? They take the Paduka, keep it in the altar, start doing the seva of the Paduka. Arey Baba, that is not the puja that is being asked. Tat Paduka Sevyatam. Walk the way the master walks. Stand on the values on which the master is standing. And what is the value? That is represented by those padukas. Just like a person who is very very committed to Michael Jackson, he will start learning moonwalk within few moves. Why? His mind is like that. Eklavya said, I want to learn how to shoot arrows. The guru said, I will not make you my student. He said, who cares? I have decided I want to be your disciple. He makes the statue and learns and becomes a greater archer than Arjuna. He just by thinking about it, he learned archery. Exactly the same way. Tat Paduka Sevyata means we start thinking about the qualities, the values, the virtues, on which the Guru Maharaj is standing, on which the Lord is standing. भगवान की भी पादुका होती है, गुरु की भी पादुका होती है. You start thinking about it, start contemplating about it. And what are the values? That which are given in the scriptures. And when you think single pointedly, automatically, all those values, without you knowing, it's metamorphosis, osmosis. Everything starts, those qualities start expressing out of you also. That is what is said, that Tat Paduka Sevyatam Brahmaikaksharam Arthyatam Shruti Shiro Vakyam Samakarnyatam. Then in the Brahmaikaksharam Arthyatam, and Brahma Eka Akshara. Brahma, the infinite reality. How do you know the infinite space? Can you live in the infinite space? Yes or no? You are already living in infinite space. So then why do you need a house? So that infinite space has been made useful by putting up some walls, and now you call it 17, whatever the road is. 17, na? 17. Gant Hill. Chase Lane, Gant Hill. Gant's Hill. Okay. So suddenly, now you know you can only live in space, but now you have built the walls and you say, this is my space. And you forget that this space and the infinite space is one. You forget that. And you get attached to this space. Actually, you're not attached to space. You're attached to the walls. You're attached to inert. You're attached to dead things. Unlike that, that infinite reality, how is it made useful? How do you connect to it, to that infinitude, that all pervasiveness? Through Eka Akshara. What is that Eka Akshara? The one syllable Om. Because Om is all inclusive. Om, the whole creation, maintenance and destruction is happening within the Om. Many people say, Aau. Jackal. Om nahi bolte. They don't say Om. Aau. पुराने जन्म के संस्कार आ गए. Om तो बोले जाते हैं. So if you want to benefit yourself, your mind is functioning, two thoughts in your mind are disturbing you anytime, always chant. How? Pranavam dirgha uccharyam manorajyam piliyate. Chant pranava Om. How? Dirgha uccharyam. Elongated Om. How? Om. A and U. We are not discussing. How do we write? Om right now. O likhte hain. So Om. So O should be short. Should be long. How? As long as is comfortable. So as your stamina will build up. The more you chant, what happens? Manorajyam viliyate. Manorajyam is unwanted habitual thinking subsides. How? Not your concern. Then what you have to do? Only chant. Do you worry? Yeah. First, I must come to know how the food is digested and turned into waste. Then only I'll eat. फिर तो कभी खाना ही नहीं खाओगे. Anyway, but you eat and you get nourished. You chant Om. If mantra, scripture is saying Pranavam Dirghocharam Manorajyam Vilyate, they are saying that unwanted thinking in the mind becomes subsided if you chant Om in this particular manner. Trust that it will happen that way. Don't doubt it. Simple. तो यहाँ पे बोलते हैं कि तत्पादुका ब्रह्मैकाक्षरम अर्थ्यताम. So chant the Om and you chant Om with understanding. So once I told you that you do it to remove the unwanted thinking. But unwanted thinking will lead, when it is subsiding, your mind will become empty. Empty mind, according to Britishers, is devil's workshop. We don't accept that. Empty mind is where the consciousness can be caught. But for that, penultimate step is you understand what Om means. U, Ma. Represents the waking state. U represents the dream state. Ma represents the deep sleep state. And that's why we chant Om loudly. So when you're chanting loudly any mantra, just not Om, any mantra, your waking state is becoming purified. When it becomes purified, the mantra goes inside. Then it starts getting chanted in the mind. When mouth is stopped and the mantra is going on in your mind, the dream state gets purified. And you will forget sleeping also. Then you will say, yaar, ye kya mantra le liya maine, raat ko sone bhi nahi deta. Again come back to Vaikhari, means loud chanting. And you catch where the Om begins or where the Om ends. I have a point. Yeah. Try to catch. Keep the attention. Mouth is chanting, but your attention is where it is going to end. Try to catch that point. If you catch that point, you are in Samadhi. If you catch that point, immediately, without any delay, you will be in samadhi. Whether for 1 second or 10 minutes or forever, that's your prarabdha. But immediately you will be in samadhi. So try this every night when you go to sleep. Mind is naturally becoming quiet, isn't it? Window of opportunity. So brahmaikaksharam arthyatam shruti bhakyam samakarnyatam. So and declare shruti vakyam samakarnyatam. And you can't be chanting 24 hours a day. You will go mad. People will take you mad and you will also start doubting, really, I am mad. Then other times, what do? You expose yourself to the scriptures. When you are in the presence of the masters, saints and sages, what are we doing here? We are listening to scripture. It is realigning your understanding about yourself. It is realigning your understanding about the creation that you find yourself in. It's realigning your understanding about your relationship with God or Ishvara or with yourself or with the Jagat. And this realignment is possible only when you are listening to the scriptures. It can happen with masters, but they have to be great masters like Arun Maharishi, Ramakrishna Paramahansa. हम तो छोटे मोटे हैं, पोंगा पंडित, दाढ़ी बढ़ा ली, लोग सुनने आ जाते हैं. So, but understand, expose yourself to the scriptures. Now, what I have told you in last 2 classes, many things you have not ever heard, isn't it? Or if you have heard, you have not remembered. So we get, again, I'm using the word, we get reinforced again and again and again. So we always remain in the right attitude towards where life has kept us. What is our relationship with everything around without getting too much lost? Why? One part of our mind is ever committed to the divine. Just like a mother, when she is at home and the child doesn't come back from school, she knows the child every day comes walking from the school. To 3 o'clock, child nahi aaya. Okay. थोड़ी देर के लिए ठीक है, 5, maybe she is or he is talking to the friends. 5 minutes over, still not come. Not come. Now, what is the mother doing? She's doing everything in the house, but her mind is continuously thinking of the child, But all activities in the house are still going on. If she has to cook, she has to wash, she has to iron, she has to change, whatever she has to do. But one part of her mind is committed to the child. Exactly the same way. Find this knack of moving in this world, but one part of your mind is ever committed to Atmecha Vyavasiyatam Dridhataram or Bhaktir Dridhadhiyatam or whatever works for you. In this manner, Samakarnyatam, and listen to the Upanishads with full availability. Sama akarnyatam. Don't just listen. Listening is at the eardrum level. How does knowledge get transferred? By the words coming out of my mouth and you banging against your eardrums, and knowledge has taken place. That's why our children don't listen to us. Then how does knowledge take place? Think. You never thought. Another eye-opener. You are conscious, all of you. I am conscious, correct? The teacher is conscious. The student is conscious. The teacher is speaking and the student is listening. But can a dead teacher speak to living students? Can a living teacher speak to dead students? Yes. If the students are behaving as if they are dead, then it is possible. So both ways now. So what is the common denominator here? The teacher is conscious, the student is conscious. So that's why in our scriptures, 3 steps are told. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. We have all heard this. Well, it is not written, Pathanam, that you have to study scriptures. It is not written. It is said, listen. Here also, sama akarnyata. You have to listen. That is also an art. With this background, you listen now. Teacher is conscious, you are conscious. The words of the teacher are riding the consciousness towards you. And you are listening. And that listening ability is also because of the consciousness that you are. So our attention is not on the words, but on where the words are coming from, and because of what the words are being heard. Are the words being heard because of the ears, or is it because I'm conscious? Conscious. Are the words spoken by the teacher because of the mouth or because of the consciousness? Therefore, the words are able. So when this type of disposition is there, the words are spoken, ears hear it, but the consciousness meets the consciousness, bang, spark. That knowledge the student will never forget. This is the way of knowledge. This is called Shravanam. But we are also Pakka students. We will only half listen. So then next topic. What is Mananam? So when you have half listened and half not listened, then you have to do right. आ गया. Okay, just we'll conclude. It's almost done. So, understood what I said, Samakarnyatam, Shravanam. How to listen? Listen again. When your attention is on Atma Ichha Vyavasiyatam, when your attention is on the Atma, the conscious principle, when your attention is on the divine name, and in that remembrance, when you are listening, you can't go wrong. If you're listening to the scriptures, they will, there and then it will make an Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.